You dangerous. People really get obsessed with you. I did a video about people are obsessed with you, but you gotta understand what you carry. Like, you have a fire, you have a flame. It's the light, it's the real chosen one, it's the anointing. But like, you don't realize who you are and what you really look like to people. And I'm not just talking about physically, because even if you're a physically attractive person, when people are looking at you, they're observing much more than skin deep beauty. They're seeing something greater. Like, a lot of you, as I've said, you are consecrated. Like, you are well known spiritually. In this earth, you might have no fame. You might not got no social media, no followers. If you on YouTube, you might not even got that many subscribers. But when I say you're well known, you are well known. So you got to understand that even people who are not spiritually tapped in to where they're conscious about it, we're always communicating spiritually. People are always communicating telepathically, whether they're aware or not. So a lot of you people realize, even though it might be subconscious, that it's like they're standing in the midst of a celebrity. Like, they're standing in the midst of somebody who is very rare. And so you got to just be very careful with that. A lot of you, it's like, pay attention during this time, during this hour, pay attention to what you're doing. For a lot of you, especially my women, even men, make sure that you're not alone in certain places, in certain positions. Okay. Some of you are so alluring. Some of you do have such, not only internal beauty and light, but some of you are very physically attractive. Like, some of you are straight dime pieces, straight hunks, right? But especially for my women, you got to be very careful, because you can find yourself in vulnerable situations. Our bodies are not typically physically strong the way that a man's body typically is, right? There are some scenarios where we will body slam a dude, right? But in most cases, 999 times out of 100, even a guy that looks physically weak could outstrength a woman. So for some of you, it's like, people get intoxicated. It's like, people get intoxicated by you. People intoxicate you. Like, people try to suffocate you, but it's like people just swarm to you. It's dangerous. Like, some of you have the energy where people can really do things that they wouldn't typically do. Like, spirits take over people when they're around you. Some of you, oh my God, this is something that I'm picking up. Some of you, this is a spiritual thing. This is really disgusting. But you know how we talk about like succubus, incubus, we talk about these legions, these demonic spirits, even people who deal with SA, different types of abuse, especially SA, grape, all of these types of things. Anybody who's ever been in that situation, if you've ever had the opportunity to look at the person, you will see that it's a completely different entity. It's a spirit that takes over these people. Okay. So some of you have the ability to make certain people physically weak. And then that's what opens the gate for certain attachments, to where it's like, some of you have certain entities. This is disgusting. I've never gotten a download like this. This is coming as I'm doing this prophetic message. And it's so funny, because I almost wasn't going to do it, because I'm like, isn't this like the obsessed one that we just did? No, this is like on a spiritual side. So the physical part of this message, y'all can watch. Some y'all make people get obsessed with you, but this is the spiritual side of it. Some of you are literal, like, you don't understand who you are in the spirit realm. Okay, you could have came here lowly. It makes me think of like when Yeshua came and he incarnated. He was like, he was a worker. Um, he wasn't like born into royalty or the king's son or any of this type of stuff in the physical. It's like he looked like everybody else around him. That's why when he was stepping into his call and he was doing what he was doing, people were like, who you think you are? Like, you was out there working with me. Your parents live next to my parents. Like, you ain't no different than me. Because God will have like chosen ones, especially if you're highly elevated, you will be born into certain circumstances that are beneath like your actual capacity or level of existence. Like, for instance, as a chosen one, if things really reflected who you are spiritually, you would be like one of the richest, most successful. Some of y'all would literally be royalty. Like, you know how you have like the British royalty and royalty in some of these places that I'm not even going to get into that. But some of you would literally be that if we're talking spiritual, but things are reversed in earth. So where you come from, you are that. You are a king, you're a queen. God is like, right? And we're not talking about being God. That's not even really a word. I don't often like to use that word. I use it because I know a lot of people hear that and they associate it with a thing, but that's really a pagan term. God is source, like Almighty is source, the Most High. That's why a lot of people that are spiritual understand we call the Most High source, light, okay, the one, the I am, because God is really a pagan term. But again, and it's a difference between gods and goddesses and the I am, but many of you are that for real. So some of you have like certain spirits, especially in the realms that you come from, especially in the spiritual, that want access to you, and they cannot access you when you're in Jesus Christ. This is so disgusting. They cannot access you when you are in your spiritual form, right? They can't access you when you're in your true form. They can't access you when you're outside of this physical body, right? They can't even get anywhere near you. They don't have access. They don't dwell in your realm. But when you descended into earth to do a work, to transmute in these dark times, in these dark ages, they saw that. And so these entities, Jesus Christ, this is disgusting, family, will come, and sometimes they'll use certain weak vessels that have no discipline, vessels that highly sexualized, have secret shadows, and they'll come through these vessels in order to um be physical with you. And some of you that have experienced certain forms of abuse, and violation and things of that nature, that was what that was. Okay, it, it could have been uh, it could have been that. Okay, and the reason I'm saying it like that is because that doesn't mean that it was that, but especially during this time, be very careful, because it's like it's that, it's these spirits, it's these entities that want access to you in that way. I don't know, I'm hearing the word consummate. They want to consummate with you. I'm also hearing spirit babies, these low life. I've never seen this spiritually, but the Most High is showing me something. That's why it's a little bit difficult for me to get this out. But that's where spirit babies come from. They want to, this is so lowly, but again, this is violation. The same way when you're physically violated, that's a violation. But this is happening also for some of you, especially during this time. It could happen on a spiritual plane, and you would never, like in your true form, if you could see, you never. They know they don't have access to you. Like, how dare you? Like, they can't even be in your presence. These are entities that will not even be able to look up at you into your face, or even get into a certain proximity of you. So be very careful, because like I said, some of you are very beautiful. Some of you, and again, this could be for men too, because if this is for men, you have to be careful in a way that, y'all remember what Cardi B said she was doing. She was a bottom hoe. So she was a bottom feeder hoe, right? I'm just explaining to from what she said. And she said she would set dudes up, drug them, this, and that, rob them, stuff like that. So, of course, if you're a man, it's like, yeah, you're physically stronger, but there's ways that your defenses can be lowered. And one of the easiest ways to lower a man defense is to send a woman in there, right? If it's a room full of men and a woman comes in, most of them dudes, they not thinking nothing about violence. They not thinking about, they might be thinking the opposite way. They might be thinking like, oh, who's that? You know what I mean? Who gonna be able to get that first? But if a man comes in, it's gonna be a different energy. They'll be on defense. So, fellas, be very careful. Be very discerning during this hour. Some of you men, it could be an entity trying to attach you through the form of a woman. That's like, man, this woman looks grade A. This woman, like they say, the devil in a red dress, like somebody who looks very good, but you do not understand the spirit that is attached and trying to work through that person, and the spirit wants to take everything from you. Okay. And again, for those of you who this is for certain people who are very attractive. Okay. Doesn't matter your age. Okay. Like, could be younger, you could be adult, you could be middle age, you could be older than that, but you're in a very attractive person. Be very careful. Okay. You a real king. You're a real queen. And you dangerous. You cut different. You built different. You stand out. So be very mindful of that. And again, my women, be very careful. Don't have yourself in any circumstances with a man alone. Some of you, it could be where it's like, oh, I've been dealing with this person moves me, or this person does this, or this person is my cleaner. And you could be like, I've been dealing with this person for years. Don't let don't let a man be in nowhere with you alone. You might think it's somebody you trust. A lot of times when people get violated, it's by people that they know. Okay. And the people that you would least expect, because sick people like this, they like for you to get your defenses down. Some of you could have dealt with something like this. Just know that it's not your fault when you get violated. That's never your fault. You know, sometimes when you're in the midst of a violation, it can paralyze you. You know, you can freeze. That's not your fault. Okay. Violation is violation. That's never on you. That's on the other person. All right. I love you all so much. We're definitely going to spray some consecration spray, some holy spray. This is from our David kit. This is altar body coat, holy water for consecration. This is for purification, focus, and protection. Okay, so even though you're watching, I'm telling you this that hits you. We also have the holy oil. This is available in the David kits that you can get. If you get a David Consecration Awakening ticket, you can get a ticket that includes the David kit. Or you can go directly on Altar Body Co. and you can purchase the David kits that way. They have the holy water, the holy oil, and other things are also in the kit. It's not just that. You can look on the website to give you a full description of everything that you're going to receive. But everything is on Altar Body Co. as well. And if you order a David kit through Altar Body Co. before we do the David Awakening, you'll also get a free ticket to the David Consecration. So make sure that you protect yourself 12-12. And as I'm saying this, last time I looked up, I swear I saw 11-11. I just didn't say it. But protect yourself. You're dangerous. Like, low vibrational people are not, they're not going to be able to resist you, and because of that, they'll be opening themselves up to demonic influences that have been wanting you for a very long time. Okay. David Consecration, David Awakening coming up December 8th through the 14th. This is about protection, fortifying ourselves. We're breaking yokes. This prophecy, prophetic activation, deliverance is happening. Okay. All of the information about this I'm going to put in the comments, and then you can also get the full information about the event on prettybosstv.com. I look forward to everybody who's going to be there. I love you all so much. Stay very safe, stay protected, stay alert. For those of you who might feel like, oh, I want to go out, or I want to do something, if it comes and you don't feel led to do it, you don't want to go somewhere, do not do it. Be very careful in this hour. This is a very serious message. I know y'all can hear it in my tone. Like, anyways, I love you all so much, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all willing? Stay blessed, stay protected, stay peaceful. Peace.